Everybody, this is kind of a follow-up to the last post I did on my blog, Plan B, and I decided to chat with my daughter, and we were going to talk a little bit about the phone call from jail. So we just thought we would talk about it together so we each kind of see what we were thinking at that time. So what do you remember about that phone call?
I remember I had the option to make a phone call really fast as soon as I was there, but I think it was about a day before I worked up to calling you and telling you. Yeah, the people I'd been around at that time though had pretty much already dropped me at that point. So
Fast.
It was pretty fast, yeah.
Was it hard for you to make that call?
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. That's probably one of the hardest phone calls I can remember making. Then I got all thrown off because of what you said when I said I was in jail.
What do you remember me saying?
You were really quiet for a minute, and then you were just like, thank God.
Did it feel like an insult a little bit?
I was so
how
mad.
dare you?
What why would you say thank God? I'm in jail. And then, but then it also, my first reaction was really mad, and then I got really, that hit me hard, because the point I had to have had you at for you to say thank God, that you're in jail.
Yeah. And, of course, now you know, but at that point, you probably didn't realize the
relief, I'd imagine.
Yes, yeah. And for it to be so much relief, the fear and the worry that had to been before that, yeah. Right. I think it had been around 2 weeks without hearing from you right before that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I had waited till, I wasn't going to tell you about it, but then I saw the judge and they said no bond. And that was why.
Actually,
because I thought I would be like, oh, I'm just getting out, but it didn't really go that way, because I was already on felony bond, and then with the charges I got, the judge said, we believe you're a danger to yourself and others, you're a menace to society, there will be absolutely no bond.
Oh my gosh.
I will see you in a month, I think the next scheduled hearing was.
I think I'd forgotten about this.
And
when you told me that.
Up till that point, I was in complete denial. I was like, oh, whatever, I'm going to sit here in the drunk tank or whatever, I'll be out of here by the weekend, and then they were like, yeah, there will be, the judge said absolutely no bond whatsoever, and I was like, whoa. It knocked me off my feet, which, if I had any clarity of mind, I would have known this, it was obvious, but it, blew me away. I was not expecting that. I was not prepared for that at all.
I remember when you first told me, first, immediately is relief, and then it's feet out from under me type thing.
Right.
And it was just a brief conversation first, and then I think we talked again the next day, but I remember going and having a conversation with my husband and actually the rest of our family, and just talking about, oh my God, what are we going to do with this? What do we do? Are we going to, pay the bond or whatever that is and help her get out?
That wasn't even an option.
But I didn't know that at first, and it was the next day that you told me.
Yeah.
And we had already decided we weren't going to, and that was you have no idea how hard that decision to make was, because
I was like, well, guess what?
Yes.
Even if you wanted to, you can't.
Yes, yeah. When you told me that there was...
But I think you still told me anyways, pretty much, well, we wouldn't be paying your bond even if you could get one. I think I remember that conversation also.
Yeah, that was not fun to say.
I was like, oh word. Okay.
You remember what your charges were?
I sure do.
Do you want to...
I got, DUI, the field sobriety test, but...
Did you think you nailed it at first? But it was...
I thought I was doing pretty good. I was doing pretty good. And he laughed and then arrested me, so... I got felony possession of a Schedule 1 or 2 narcotic, and the illegal possession of a firearm, and illegal concealment of a firearm.
So that was 2 felonies, 2 misdemeanors, if I remember correctly.
So once I got, like, found more out about my charges and stuff, and I was sitting in jail, like, the weight of it started to hit me after a while, and it took me a few days to, like, kind of sober up and, like, my head to clear a little bit. But yeah, once the weight of it started to hit me, it was kind of staggering, because I was potentially looking at, like, up to 12 years. And
I remember you telling me that.
yeah. It was going to be 8 minimum.
And all I could
Probably
think in
8
my
to 10,
mind
maybe to
was,
12, though.
oh my gosh, she'll be...
Yeah.
I
Me
remember
too.
there's that
Me too.
sick feeling. Sick.
You were sick.
Ugh.
Oof.
Well, any other initial thoughts on, basically, we're just talking about the call and the initial getting into jail, not about life in jail or anything like that.
Yeah.
That was just kind of anything else you want to share before we get off?
Yeah, that phone call sucked. It was rough.
Yeah.
And then having to tell you why, and, like, all the stuff I had on me, and...
That phone call was when I first was like a real eye-opener of, oh my gosh, she is really into drugs way more than I thought, way more than I knew. You hit it pretty well, mainly because you weren't around.
I hit it.
All right, thanks guys. That's it for now.
Bye.